I didn't. Hey, there I am. Ha ha! I'm bad at this. Good morning and welcome back to Topical Thursday here on Gaming with ADHD. Sorry, I have been gone for a couple of weeks. Obviously, we had Thanksgiving here in the United States last week, and week before, it just didn't work out. But I am back and I am happy to be with all of you. Whoever you are out there. So let's see. All right, got a couple of things that I wanted to cover that, just in regards to current Kickstarters or just fun things that I think are out there. I might have a guest or two join later, but obviously they are not here at the moment, so we'll see if they show up. Great. If not, that happens too. But we are it is December 1st, and I am struggling. So anyways, let's see here. Let's go ahead and start with looking at the couple of Kickstarters real quick. So if I can figure out how to share the screen that I have done many times before. All right, so I've done a couple of videos on this week. This is the Terrain Crate 3 Kickstarter from Mantic Games. And basically it is new terrain, new gaming mats, pretty much, if you need something to play a game and make it look a little bit better, they are making that available. So because I haven't done this live for a couple of weeks, and some people may not have seen the videos I put out, I do want to show the video real quick. So just a moment. Let's see. So this should work. All right, so this is obviously Kickstarter video, very promotional, but they have been putting out a lot more images, a lot of stretch goals, things like that. Like this is actually a brand new image that I hadn't seen yet. So basically they have it organized into 3 crates so far. So there's the forest crate. You get basically it's modular pieces. There's a base, a middle section, and then a topper, and you can mix and match them however you want. Come up with your own trees, your own forests, and then as you can see, you get a lot of different options. Now these are very alien, kind of mushroom foresty kind of a look, but they are obviously it's very consistent. It's basically 50 pounds, so about $60 is what they're estimating for this. But they've got the forest. They then have the battlefield scatter. So if you've seen the battlefield terrain that Mantic has put out for games like Dead Zone, this is designed to kind of mix and match with that, but then also give you just, kind of like that battlefield rubble to help break up line of sight, things like that. Obviously, they've unlocked some stretch goals there. Now, just the other day, they actually upgraded what was going to be just an add-on. So we'll call it like a half crate is essentially what it was. And they went ahead and they upgraded it to a full crate on its own. So you get kind of like these alien walls, pillars, laser turret things. So, if you want, something completely different. Personally, I think this blends in a little bit better with the forest terrain, but it is, it's a little bit different. Let's see. So then they're also doing gaming mats at 3 foot by 3 foot, 4 foot by 4 foot, 44 by 60, which is the new weird Games Workshop size. Obviously, Mantic is not Games Workshop, but anybody can use the terrain. So maybe you want a gaming mat in that weird size. And then also 6 foot by 4 foot. They've got the I'm kind of the urban Dead Zone look, the alien look, and just kind of a generic. We've obviously got some extra add-ons. So overall, it's, I like how it's shaping up. I wish it was doing better than it is. I mean, they're almost to $100,000, so they're not doing poorly, but Mantic has done some multi-million-dollar campaigns in the past. So it's a little disappointing to see it so low. But honestly, I blame the fact that they launched, pretty much on top of Thanksgiving. So it honestly doesn't surprise me. Like, let's look real quick at some of their other Kickstarters, which isn't showing the money anymore. But okay, it's like Hellboy, £1.5 million, which I am going to be doing a review of Hellboy, the board game. I really like it. If you hadn't noticed, I've been doing shorts for the past week, showing off the miniatures from the board game that I've got painted up. There's one miniature that I have to finish off before I can call the whole core set done. But overall, basically just to kind of show off, hey, you don't have to be a perfect painter, but throw a little bit on there and your board game looks better. So there's that. Let's see. Obviously they've done, the terrain crates and Warpath and Star Saga. How did Star Saga do? Star Saga only did $400,000. I thought it was a little more than that, but yeah. So they've done better in the past. They've done, I wouldn't say they've done worse at any of them. 236,000 for the last terrain crate. But regardless, it's doing okay. I just wish it was doing better. Because they launched it at kind of a weird time. So we'll still get it. and it'll still be a good product. I love Mantic stuff, so regardless, there's that. But yes, go back, the Terrain Crate 3 Kickstarter. Kind of excited. All right. So other thing I wanted to mention, I did a video kind of breaking down this one. But if you are a longtime viewer, I am a big fan of the Shadowrun setting. I actually really like the kind of, all-in-one approach that they took with Shadowrun, where it's the future, but then you have fantasy races and you have magic and you have technology and everything. And this literally goes back to the early days. As you can see where it says right here, 1989 to 1997. So 8 years of Shadowrun, and really what kind of defined Shadowrun and kind of set it apart from everything. There's so much classic art, so much original setting, and just the way that they developed the world, which actually still expands and grows even today. It's kind of funny because the community's kind of split. They're currently on 6th edition, and a lot of people don't like it. Honestly, I don't have any issues with it myself, but it's one of those things where I was kind of thinking about it the other day. Even though Battletech is the bigger name for Catalyst, I think that Shadowrun has been a more consistent performer. They typically are putting some new product out at least once a month, whether it's a new adventure or a source book or a board game or an art book or whatever it is. They are Jason Hardy has been basically just kind of guiding this and getting Shadowrun everywhere. They've got board games and card games, and they have a small miniature set, but I'd like to see more miniatures come out from them. I think they could easily do something like Battletech, do a Renraku, Red Ninjas, or not Red Ninjas, Red Samurai. I crossed my G.I. Joe and my Shadowrun there for a minute. I'd like to see more of that, but regardless, they just keep putting out Shadowrun product consistently. On Drive Through RPG, it always looks like it's selling well for them. Let's see here. Yes, I use Brave browser. So yeah, like Catalyst, I mean, you look and Shadowrun is consistently one of their hottest sellers. Obviously, we've got a mix of Battletech in there, but as far as dollar amount, the way I would put it, we've got 3 recognition guides. They sell those for $4 a piece, and a tech readout for $10. Other than that, it's all $20 books for Shadowrun. Mostly 6, some 5th. Obviously, there is a lot of Battletech as well, but even then, there's still Shadowrun all through their hot sellers. So I think Jason and Shadowrun get a lot of grief that they don't really deserve. So, but that's my personal opinion there. Regardless, it is fun to see to see what they're doing, what's coming out. Obviously, they are on Ilclan Volume 27, which actually I think this is the first vehicle book. This is... Oh, it does not really... I mean, there's a vehicle on the cover, so I'm assuming there have to be... I mean, it says, mechs and combat vehicles, but I think this is the first time that they've actually put a vehicle in one of the Ilclan recognition guides. So, who knows? Let's see here. All right, so yeah, needless to say, this is actually really good. Currently, you can get the first edition collection for $20, $19.95, and for a little more than $43, you can get the second edition collection. Basically, I figured out you end up with 36 books, I think it is. So 36 books out of about 68 total, of which about 10 or 11 haven't even been put on a drive-through RPG yet. So honestly, if you want just some classic 80s and 90s cyberpunk type, even if you want to just read it for the story in the background, there is just a mountain of content in this bundle. And honestly, I think it's a fantastic deal for anyone into Shadowrun. All right, so the next thing is Palladium books. Now, I've mentioned them on the channel one other time. I think it was for a short. Might have been for a Flashback Friday, but Palladium books and Battletech are literally what is responsible for getting me into gaming. Palladium books, when I was in junior high, they had the license for the Robotech role-playing game, and so I was a big fan of Robotech, and basically getting the books and just reading them for the background and the story information, and starting to learn about role-playing and what it was and how you could tell your own stories, even though I was never very good at it, but that's a whole separate problem. Palladium books was a big part of me being a kid. Anyways, every year since sometime in the 90s, I think, they've been doing these Christmas surprise packages. Last I remember buying one, I think it was about $40. They're up to a little less than $60, plus you still have to pay for shipping. But they do say that they're going to give you somewhere around $100 worth of product. So basically, you're getting a bunch of stuff at about half off. They also will go through, they will, anybody that's around, they will get to autograph books. I actually have a few of these in my collection that are this way. They have they have all the signatures in them. It's actually kind of neat because the way that they do this, so they start out with, okay, what are your special wants? Okay, what do you really, really want? Is it a game that you haven't tried? Is it a game that you've always considered? Whatever. And so Palladium, at least tries to get you, a couple of things that you want. You can opt in for a t-shirt. That all depends. I have lots of nerd shirts, so I've done this before, but not all the time. And then they ask what your favorite games are, because they will, they'll, obviously, if your favorite is, Riffs or, I was about to say Robotech, but they don't have that license anymore. So Riffs or Heroes Unlimited, whatever it is, whichever one's your favorite, they want to make sure that they get you something that you can use. And then this one I always liked, Palladium game you'd like to try. So like I said, there is the wish list of what products you'd really like to get in your bundle, but then also, I mean, to be honest with you, it's a great marketing tool, is doing, just putting in this Palladium game you'd like to try. Have you tried Recon? Have you tried Mechanoid Splicers, Chaos Earth? Something different, something you may not have tried, and they'll, usually they end up putting that in as well. Then they ask if you want autographs, and then you have an option for any comments or suggestions. Sometimes they will say, hey, we've got a few of these things that we can give away. If you want one of those, put them in, or put that on your request. So they ask you to be, very thorough in making out your list, so that way, they can try to make sure that they give you stuff that you want. So like I said, I've done it a couple of times in the past. It's a good deal. Like I said, you do get it about 40 to 50% off anyways. So it's if you like Palladium stuff, it is worth it. Now, with that said, keep in mind Palladium really hasn't changed their game since I was a teenager, and so we're going on about 30 years now. But they do have their devoted following, so there is something there. But this bundle, the cool thing about it, they always say that it's going to run through, they say now until December 24th. I have literally never seen a year that that Mr. Sambita has not extended it out until like first week of January. They obviously want to get everybody to purchase it before the end of the year. But then they also understand that, people are going to, they're going to be getting it. They're going to be getting Christmas money, whatever it is. And so, they'll, short answer, they always end up extending it. So if you're curious and you'd like to try it out, but you don't want to do it today, there's obviously plenty of time to do so. Let's see here. Sorry, just checking messages. All right. So, let's see what. Oh, that's right. Okay. So, how can I do this? I'm experimenting with a bunch of stuff today, so please bear with me. Which probably should have done that earlier. I am going to try something. All right, so as I said, I wanted to talk about some Battletech. So I am, for some weird reason, trying something, as you can tell. I think this is, yes, this is the one. Okay. So, and my camera always goofs, so I have to change a couple of things. Don't forget, folks, we are professionals here. All right, there we go. Okay, so this is the infamously small work table with the project. All right, so what I have here are MechWarrior figures that I am repurposing. So, I don't have a specific one, but this will actually work. All right, so what we have here is Loki in standard Battletech scale, so more or less about 6 millimeter, and we have a Zeus in 6 millimeter, and then a Zeus in 15 millimeter. Now these come from MechWarrior Dark Age. It was the successor to Battletech. It released in early 2000s, and instead of being more of a board game, it was a miniatures game, but all of the stats were on a specially designed base that when the mech or the tank or the whatever would take damage, they would you would then turn the dial, and then when you got to the point where the dial had a bunch of bullet holes on it, then that meant that the mech was dead. So what I've done is I've actually removed them from their bases, and on my laser cutter, I cut some MDF hexes and just re-glued them to it. Now, I could have left them on the bases, but it's clicks. It's not coming back, so I don't care anymore. But I thought number one, I have literal buckets full of these. And so I've got Zeus here. I've got a longbow, Panther, Solitaire. This is the only clan one I've moved over so far. And then I've already started painting a wasp. Now, some of the poses are weird, like I don't know why he's leaning back so far. But they also do move, because they're a little more, I believe the term is toyetic. So you could pose it a little bit more if you wanted. I'm eventually just gonna get them to a spot and just leave them there. But I've been wanting to learn Alpha Strike, and instead of having to come up with 6 millimeter terrain, I figured if I converted over some of the MechWarrior figures, I could use some of the 15 millimeter terrain that I have, or just some of the regular terrain that I have, like hills and forests and things like that. And it would actually play a little bit better. First off, one thing I will mention, as you can see here, be careful with your X-Acto knife. Slice that open when trying to get the Solitaire off of its click base. But overall, I mean, the figures are okay. They're painting up. I don't know. I'm still on the fence about this one. I don't think it looks bad, but also, I mean, this is a wasp, using the Project Phoenix design, which I really don't like. I was not starting this project with the we'll call it the best mechs. I just grabbed out of the bucket, what I could find, and I wanted more Inner Sphere stuff than clan stuff. So, basically that's what I picked up. But overall, it's going to be an interesting project. I want to learn Alpha Strike, and I just figure, I have these figures, why not use them? So that is what else I've got on the painting table. Let's see here. So other than that, I'm trying to think of what else has been going on in gaming, because it is kind of nuts. For Black Friday, I ended up with a big pile of games. I like perusing the clearance section of game stores that I go to, and for Black Friday, it was almost like the whole store was on the clearance aisle. So it was basically, we got a lot of stuff that I had heard of, stuff that I hadn't heard of. But regardless, I think it looks fun. And so if I can make myself get to the table, we will give it a try. Let's see. But other than that, there's not a whole lot of news going on. I was hoping to have a guest or two and we could talk about stuff. So let's see. All right. You know what? I've gone for about 30 minutes. I'm actually going to go ahead and end the stream there. I just wanted to do something, check back in since I hadn't been live for a couple of weeks. But a couple of things coming up. I do have a guest scheduled for the 15th of December. I'm very excited about that one. I will announce that next week. But he's another YouTuber, has been making really good content, and I'm really excited about it. But I've got that interview lined up for the 15th. So do make sure that you're here for that. Next week, I have another, or I'm trying to lock in a couple of things. But we'll see what happens. Might be me again. Maybe next time I will, I don't know. I'll come up with something a little better than this. I'm just trying to get back in the habit. I let myself get out, but yeah, so we've got that. And then the week after, I might take off for Christmas, but we will, anyways, needless to say, keep track of the community tab. Shorts I will be announcing as things come up. So regardless, I'd love for you to come along, see what we have to share, and go from there. So regardless, we'll keep it a short stream tonight. I hope you all found this interesting. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel to follow along with all sorts of tabletop gaming content. But other than that, thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye.